The Angel Horse. Prologue, a shroud over the sky. When the first twilight fell over Mobius, the sun's last rays were not swallowed by clouds, but by a blackness that seemed to drink the very sound of the wind. The darkness crept in like a living thing, a thick veil that smothered the chirp of crickets and the rustle of leaves. It hissed in the corners of the world, and every whisper that rose from the silence carried a warning. Something ancient and hungry had awoken. In the heart of the Acorn Kingdom, Princess Sally Acorn stared at the looming night from her observatory. The star maps she'd studied for years now showed a single, pulsing scar on the horizon, a wound in the sky that widened with each passing hour. It was the signature of the Sky Eater, a mind forge of twisted metal and arcane circuitry that had once tried to rip the Master Emerald from its cradle. "Someone is trying to feed the darkness again," she murmured, tapping a finger to the glowing projection of the Master Emerald. "And this time it's not just a thief, it's a parasite." Chapter 1. An Unlikely Alliance. In the bustling market of Green Hill, Breezie the hedgehog twirled between stalls, her bright pink scarf snapping in the gust that still managed to find its way through the creeping gloom. All right, who needs a speed boost?" she shouted, offering a flick of her hand to a frantic rabbit. A sudden tremor rattled the cobblestones. A low, metallic whine cut through the chatter, an ominous drone that seemed to vibrate the very air. A plume of ash rose from the nearby hills, and the darkness thickened, swallowing the sun's last light. From the shadows, a sleek figure swooped down, Rouge the Bat, wings glittering with a faint violet hue, her eyes flashing with both curiosity and caution. "Breezie, you see that?" Rouge called, landing on a nearby lamppost. "The Sky Eater's scouts are back, and they're not alone." Breezie's eyes widened. "Scouts?" she asked, her voice trembling with a mixture of excitement and fear. "What do they look like?" Before Rouge could answer, a flash of orange fur and a determined stride cut through the gloom. Fiona Fox, once a freedom fighter, now a wanderer with a conflicted past, appeared. Her eyes held the flicker of a secret. Her allegiance was still a question mark, but the darkness forced her hand. "Looks like we're all in the same mess," Fiona said, pulling a small, humming device from her satchel. "If we don't stop them, the Sky Eater will devour the Master Emerald and turn the whole world into a black void." The three stared at each other, the weight of the situation settling like a heavy cloak. Behind them, a horned silhouette emerged from the darkness, Sally Acorn, flanked by a squad of freedom fighters, her royal cape rustling in the wind. "Gathered here for a reason," Sally said, voice steady despite the fear gnawing at her heart. "The Sky Eater has fashioned an army of darkness to shackle the sky. Its minions, dark shard prodders, shade rushers, abyss twisters, pitch-black pitchers, and the rest, are already moving across our world. If we don't act, the Master Emerald will be its next feast." Rouge smirked, her confidence returning. "Sounds like a job for someone special." She flicked a cufflink, and a holographic map floated before them, pinpointing a hidden valley nestled between the crimson cliffs and the whispering woods. At its center, a crystal pedestal glowed faintly, the Angel Horse's resting place. Chapter 2. The Legend of the Angel Horse. Centuries ago, before Dr. Robotnik's tyranny, the Angel Horse was a celestial steed born from the convergence of the 7 Chaos Emeralds and the light of the ancient sun. Its mane shone with rainbow-tinged aurora, its hooves left trails of starlight. It could soar through the heavens, weaving the very fabric of reality, and its heart pulsed with a pure energy capable of sealing any darkness. Only a chosen guardian could summon it, and the ancient texts spoke of a trio of spirit-linked heroes, one quick-witted, one daring, and one wise, who would awaken the creature when the world teetered on the brink of oblivion. Breezie's ears twitched. "So, we're the trio?" she asked, a grin spreading across her face. Sally shook her head. "Not quite. We need someone who can bridge the gap between the material and the ether, someone with a soul attuned to both speed and shadow." Rouge's eyes narrowed. "I think I know who we need." She produced a small, silver amulet from beneath her wing, a relic she'd stolen from a forgotten vault beneath the Angel Island. Its surface was etched with the sigil of the Angel Horse, a horse's head surrounded by a halo of stars. "The Ether Key," Rouge whispered. "If we can combine it with the Master Emerald's power, we might be able to call the Angel Horse to our aid." Chapter 3: Assault on the Dark Forge. The group set off, their path lit only by flickering lanterns and the occasional spark of Breezie's spunky personality. She would spin a tiny fireworks display to keep the darkness at bay, a flash of pink sparks that seemed to laugh at the void. As they neared the valley, the air grew colder, and the shadows coalesced into tangible forms. The first wave struck, dark shard prodders, slender, crystalline entities that hurled shards of obsidian at the heroes. Breezie darted forward, her quills sparking with kinetic energy, and spun a vortex that turned the shards back upon their owners. "Nice one, Bree," Sally shouted, firing a series of tactical missiles from her handheld cannon. Rouge, with a flick of her wings, dove-bombed a shade rusher, a blur of black smoke that tried to slip through her claws. She caught it mid-air, the creature dissipating into a puff of ash. Fiona, ever the wild card, hurled her humming device, an abyss twister disruptor, into a swarm of pitch-black pitchers, causing them to levitate and explode in bursts of violet light. But the darkness was endless. From the ground rose dark gliders, winged beasts with obsidian feathers that swooped low, their talons scraping at the heroes' helmets. Breezie's quick reflexes saved them. She leapt onto a glider's back, using the creature's momentum to launch herself high into the sky, where she shouted a rallying cry that resonated through the valley. Together, light over darkness. The sound cut through the shroud, and somewhere far above, a faint hum began, an echo of the Angel Horse's dormant chant. Chapter 4: The Sky Eater's Chamber. At the heart of the valley lay a cavern of black stone, its entrance guarded by a massive hydra hatchling, a serpentine beast with 3 heads, each spitting streams of inky vapor. Rouge stepped forward, drawing a pair of twin pistols that glowed with a soft violet hue. "Time to make this quick," she said, and with a series of well-placed shots, she incapacitated 2 heads while Breezie, using her speed, slammed into the third, shattering its skull with a sonic boom created by her quills. Inside, the cavern stretched into a cathedral of darkness. At its center, perched upon a throne of cracked metallic bones, was the Sky Eater, a hulking construct of gears, wires, and a crown of shattered emerald shards, its face a cold, cybernetic mask that flickered with crimson LEDs. In the midst of the darkness, a midnight mortar head floated, launching balls of void that exploded in silent, black bursts, each one erasing a memory from the heroes' minds. Sally raised the Master Emerald, its emerald light battling the darkness. "We need to combine the Ether Key and the Emerald now," she shouted. Rouge placed the Ether Key into the slot at the base of the throne. The Sky Eater emitted a guttural laugh, its voice a blend of metal grinding and wind howling. "Foolish mortals, you think a trinket can bind the power of the heavens." A wave of life spell punks, tiny, glowing sprites of corrupted life, swarmed the heroes, attempting to drain their vitality. Fiona threw a flash grenade, the light temporarily blinding the monsters and giving the group a moment to act. Breezie, with all her sass and speed, vaulted onto a hanging crystal and shouted a chant she'd heard in an old tale. "By the light that once sang across the heavens, awaken." The Ether Key glowed, resonating with the Master Emerald's core. Energy surged, forming a vortex that rose like a column of pure starlight. The darkness recoiled, the Ebonbomb airbuses, dark, balloon-like constructs that floated above, burst into shards of glittering darkness that fell harmlessly to the ground. From the vortex, a figure emerged, a radiant, ethereal horse whose mane flowed like liquid aurora, its hooves leaving trails of sparkling constellations on the cavern floor. The Angel Horse. Its eyes met the Sky Eater's mechanical mask, and a pulse of pure, white light burst from its chest, ricocheting off the walls and striking the Sky Eater's core. The machine shuddered, gears grinding, and its cybernetic face cracked, revealing a hidden, beating heart, the stolen heart of the Master Emerald, now pulsing weakly. "Release it," Sally commanded, extending her hand. With a roar that echoed through the valley, the angel horse lowered its head, and a beam of luminous energy shot into the Sky Eater, ripping the crimson crown from its head and pulling the emerald's heart free. The Sky Eater convulsed, and a horde of its minions, shadow guardians, darkened destroyers, battleship bullies, and the rest, were thrown back by the force, their bodies disintegrating into mote-like particles that drifted harmlessly to the ground. The darkness that had blanketed the sky began to thin, light seeping through the cracks. Chapter 5, Dawn of the New Sky. Outside the cavern, the clouds that had once been an impenetrable night dissolved into a canvas of sunrise. The angel horse galloped across the horizon, its hooves striking the clouds and scattering them like dandelion seeds. As it passed, every creature it touched felt a warm surge of hope. Breezie, her quills still crackling, laughed. Well, that was a ride. Rouge tucked the ether key back into her wing pouch, a mischievous smile playing on her lips. I guess we've earned a little credit, huh? Fiona, eyes glistening with unshed tears, turned to Sally. I didn't think I could trust anyone again, but you gave me a reason to believe. Sally placed a hand on Fiona's shoulder. We're stronger together. The world isn't about redemption or betrayal. It's about standing together when the night tries to swallow us. From the distance, the angel horse lifted its head, the halo of light around its mane expanding until it formed a perfect circle over the Acorn Kingdom. Within that circle, a gentle rain of emerald particles fell, each one settling into the soil, blooming into tiny crystal flowers that glimmered with the promise of renewal. The heroes watched as the angel horse disappeared into the sky, leaving behind a trail of starlight that stitched the heavens back together. Epilogue, a whisper in the wind. Back in the observatory, Sally examined the master emerald, now whole again. She noticed a faint inscription on its surface that had been hidden before. When darkness seeks to devour the light, the angel horse shall rise, bound by the hearts of the brave. She turned to her friends, feeling the weight of the future settle like a warm blanket. We've won this battle, she said, but the darkness will always try to return. We must stay vigilant, keep our bonds strong, and remember that hope is a spark that can ignite even the deepest night. Breezie, with a playful flick of her tail, responded, And if another Sky Eater shows up, we'll just call the angel horse again, won't we? Rouge chuckled, her wings fluttering lazily. Just make sure you bring the fireworks, darling. Fiona smiled, her past wounds mending in the new light. And maybe, just maybe, we'll finally find out who's been pulling those dark shards, shade rushers, and all the other nasty names on that list. The wind that blew through the valley carried a soft, melodic whinny, an echo of the angel horse's call, a promise that as long as there were hearts brave enough to stand together, the darkness could never truly win. And somewhere far above, among the constellations, the angel horse galloped on, its mane a banner of light, forever watching over the world it had sworn to protect.